In the grand tapestry of human existence, certain individuals stand out. They possess a quality that's hard to define yet impossible to ignore. It's a strength of character, a force of personality that can both inspire and intimidate. These are the people who seem to carry an invisible shield, who navigate life's turbulent waters with a steadiness that leaves others in awe. But what exactly makes these individuals so formidable? What are the signs that you might be one of them? Let's start by examining the first sign, an unwavering sense of self. People with strong, intimidating personalities know who they are. They've done the hard work of self-reflection, of confronting their own demons, and they've emerged with a clear understanding of their values, their strengths, and their weaknesses. This self-knowledge isn't static, it's a continual process of growth and refinement. But at its core, it's unshakable. This doesn't mean they're inflexible or closed-minded. On the contrary, truly strong individuals are often the most open to new ideas and experiences. They're secure enough in their own identity to explore different perspectives without feeling threatened. They can engage with opposing viewpoints, extract valuable insights, and integrate them into their worldview without losing their fundamental sense of self. This strong sense of identity manifests in various ways. You might notice that these individuals don't easily conform to social pressures. They're not swayed by popular opinion or the latest trends. Instead, they make decisions based on their own carefully considered principles. This can sometimes put them at odds with the crowd, but they're willing to stand alone if that's what their integrity demands. Another hallmark of this unwavering sense of self is the ability to set and maintain boundaries. Strong, intimidating personalities understand the importance of self-respect and self-care. They know when to say no, when to distance themselves from toxic situations or people, and when to prioritize their own needs. This isn't selfishness. It's a recognition that they can't pour from an empty cup. By taking care of themselves, they're better equipped to contribute positively to the world around them. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights. This leads us to the second sign, a powerful presence. People with strong, intimidating personalities have a way of commanding attention without necessarily seeking it. When they enter a room, people notice. When they speak, others listen. This isn't about being loud or domineering. Often it's quite the opposite. The strongest presence can be quiet, calm, and composed. This presence comes from a combination of factors. Part of it is physical, the way they carry themselves, their posture, their eye contact. But a larger part is energetic. It's the sense of purpose and conviction they radiate. It's the feeling that here is someone who knows their own mind, who isn't easily swayed or intimidated. This presence isn't something they turn on and off. It's a natural extension of who they are. It comes from the alignment between their inner convictions and their outer actions. There's no disconnect, no cognitive dissonance. What you see is what you get, and what you get is authentic and powerful. But this power isn't about dominating others. True strength isn't about making others feel small or insignificant. Instead, it often manifests as a kind of gravitational pull. Strong, intimidating personalities tend to attract others who are drawn to their clarity, their conviction, their sense of purpose. This brings us to the third sign, the ability to inspire and lead. Strong, intimidating personalities often find themselves in leadership positions, whether they actively seek them out or not. People naturally look to them for guidance, for direction, for a sense of stability in uncertain times. This leadership isn't about barking orders or micromanaging. It's about setting an example, about embodying the principles they believe in. It's about having a vision and the ability to communicate that vision in a way that motivates others to join in. It's about taking responsibility, not just for their own actions, but for the well-being and growth of those around them. This kind of leadership often comes with a heavy burden. Strong, intimidating personalities understand that with great power comes great responsibility. They don't shy away from this burden. They embrace it. They understand that their strength isn't just for their own benefit, but for the benefit of their community, their society, their world. But here's a crucial point. This strength, this ability to lead and inspire, isn't something they were born with. It's something they've cultivated through hard work, through facing challenges, through falling down and getting back up again. They've forged their strength in the crucible of life's difficulties. This brings us to the fourth sign: resilience in the face of adversity. Strong, intimidating personalities aren't intimidating because they've had an easy life. Often, it's quite the opposite. They've faced significant challenges, experienced failures and setbacks, and come through stronger on the other side. This resilience isn't about being invulnerable or emotionless. It's about having the courage to feel deeply, to be hurt, to struggle, and to keep going anyway. It's about understanding that pain and difficulty are part of the human experience, not aberrations to be avoided at all costs. Strong, intimidating personalities have learned to see challenges as opportunities for growth. They don't run from discomfort, they lean into it. They understand that it's through facing difficulties that we develop our strength, our character, our wisdom. This resilience often manifests as a kind of unflappability. When crisis strikes, when emotions are running high, when others are losing their heads, these individuals remain calm and focused. Not because they don't feel the pressure, but because they've trained themselves to function under pressure. This calm in the face of chaos is often what others find most intimidating about these personalities. In a world that seems increasingly unpredictable and chaotic, someone who can maintain their composure and clarity of thought is a rare and powerful force. But here's the thing. This strength, this resilience, this ability to stand firm in the face of adversity, it's not something that's reserved for a select few. It's a potential that exists within all of us. The question is, are we willing to do the work to develop it? Are we willing to face our fears, confront our weaknesses, push through our comfort zones to become the strongest versions of ourselves? As we continue to explore the signs of a strong, intimidating personality, we'll uncover even more facets of this complex and powerful way of being. We'll examine how these individuals navigate relationships, how they approach personal growth, and how they grapple with the existential questions that define the human experience. Are you ready to dive deeper into the nature of true strength and the impact it can have on our lives and our world? The fifth sign of a strong, intimidating personality is an unwavering commitment to personal growth. These individuals understand that strength isn't a destination, but a journey. They're not content to rest on their laurels or cling to past achievements. Instead, they're constantly pushing themselves, expanding their knowledge, honing their skills, and challenging their own assumptions. This commitment to growth often manifests as an insatiable curiosity. Strong, intimidating personalities are lifelong learners. They read voraciously, seek out new experiences, and engage with diverse perspectives. They're not afraid to venture into unfamiliar territory or to admit when they don't know something. In fact, they relish these opportunities to expand their understanding. But this isn't just about accumulating knowledge for its own sake. It's about integrating that knowledge, using it to refine their worldview and to become more effective in their pursuits. They understand that true wisdom comes not just from learning, but from applying that learning in real-world situations. This commitment to growth extends beyond the intellectual realm. Strong, intimidating personalities also prioritize their physical and emotional well-being. They understand the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit, and they work to cultivate balance and strength in all areas of their lives. This often involves a rigorous self-discipline. You might notice that these individuals have strict routines or habits that they adhere to. They might rise early to meditate or exercise. They might follow strict diets or abstain from substances that they believe cloud their judgment or diminish their vitality. This isn't about deprivation or punishment. It's about optimization. They're constantly fine-tuning their habits and behaviors to align with their goals and values. But here's a crucial point. This commitment to growth isn't driven by a sense of lack or inadequacy. Strong, intimidating personalities don't engage in self-improvement because they feel fundamentally flawed or broken. They do it because they recognize their own potential and are driven to actualize it fully. They see personal growth not as a burden, but as an exciting opportunity to become the best version of themselves. This brings us to the sixth sign, a strong sense of purpose. People with strong, intimidating personalities aren't just drifting through life. They're not content to simply follow the path of least resistance or to conform to society's expectations. Instead, they're driven by a clear sense of purpose, a vision of what they want to achieve or contribute to the world. This purpose might be grandiose, to revolutionize an industry, to create world-changing art, to solve a global crisis, or it might be more personal, to be the best parent possible, to build a thriving community, to master a craft. The scale doesn't matter as much as the conviction. What's important is that they've identified something that gives their life meaning and direction, and they pursue it with unwavering dedication. This sense of purpose acts as a North Star, guiding their decisions and actions. It provides a context for their struggles and sacrifices. When faced with challenges or setbacks, they can draw strength from their larger vision. They're willing to endure short-term discomfort or difficulty because they're focused on long-term goals. But here's where it gets interesting. This sense of purpose isn't static. As strong, intimidating personalities grow and evolve, their purpose often evolves with them. They're not afraid to reassess their goals, to pivot when necessary, to expand their vision as their understanding deepens. What remains constant is their commitment to living a purposeful life, to making their time on this earth count for something. This sense of purpose often extends beyond personal achievement. Strong, intimidating personalities tend to think big. They're concerned not just with their own success or happiness, but with the bigger picture. They ask themselves how they can contribute to their community, their society, their world. They understand that true fulfillment comes not just from personal gain, but from making a positive impact on others. This leads us to the seventh sign, a strong moral compass. People with strong, intimidating personalities have a clear sense of right and wrong. This isn't about adhering to societal norms or following rules blindly. In fact, they're often willing to challenge conventional morality if they believe it's flawed or inadequate. Instead, their moral compass is based on deeply held principles that they've carefully considered and internalized. This strong moral foundation gives them the courage to stand up for what they believe in, even when it's unpopular or risky. They're not swayed by peer pressure or the fear of judgment. They're willing to speak truth to power, to defend the vulnerable, to fight for justice as they see it. But this moral strength isn't rigid or self-righteous. Strong, intimidating personalities understand the complexity of ethical issues. They're capable of nuanced thinking, of seeing shades of gray. They can hold seemingly contradictory ideas in tension, recognizing that truth is often paradoxical. This moral clarity often manifests as a strong sense of integrity. These individuals strive to align their actions with their values. They hold themselves to high standards and take responsibility for their mistakes. They're not interested in shortcuts or easy wins if they come at the cost of compromising their principles. But here's the thing. This strong moral compass isn't about being perfect or infallible. Strong, intimidating personalities understand that moral growth, like all forms of growth, is an ongoing process. They're willing to question their own assumptions, to consider different perspectives, to admit when they're wrong and to make amends when necessary. This brings us to the eighth and final sign, emotional intelligence. This might seem counterintuitive at first. We often associate strength and intimidation with stoicism or emotional detachment. But true strength isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding and managing them effectively. Strong, intimidating personalities have a high degree of self-awareness. They're in tune with their own emotions, able to recognize and name what they're feeling. But they don't let their emotions control them. Instead, they've developed the ability to observe their emotional responses without being overwhelmed by them. This emotional intelligence extends to their interactions with others. They're often highly empathetic, able to read other people's emotions and respond appropriately. They understand the power of emotional connection and are able to use this understanding to communicate more effectively, to motivate and inspire others to navigate complex social situations. But this empathy isn't about people-pleasing or emotional manipulation. Strong, intimidating personalities are capable of setting emotional boundaries. They can be compassionate without taking on other people's emotional burdens. They can engage deeply with others without losing their sense of self. This emotional intelligence also manifests as resilience in the face of emotional challenges. Strong, intimidating personalities aren't immune to fear, doubt, or sadness. But they've developed the tools to process these emotions in healthy ways. They don't avoid difficult feelings, they face them head-on, understanding that emotional growth often comes through facing our fears and insecurities. As we reflect on these 8 signs, it's important to remember that strength and intimidation aren't about dominating others or projecting an image of invulnerability. True strength is about authenticity, about being fully and unapologetically yourself. It's about having the courage to live according to your values, to pursue your purpose, to face your fears, and grow from your challenges. And here's the most important point. These qualities aren't innate or fixed. They're skills that can be developed, traits that can be cultivated. Each of us has the potential to embody these characteristics, to become a strong and inspiring presence in our own lives and in the world. The question is, are we willing to do the work? Are we willing to face our fears, to challenge our assumptions, to push beyond our comfort zones? Are we willing to take responsibility for our lives, to pursue our purpose with passion and dedication? Are we willing to cultivate the strength of character that can inspire and, yes, sometimes intimidate others?